Hello there and welcome to the Mobile Academy. And if you want to become a job ready Flutter developer, make sure to check out the courses on my website mobileacademy.io. Here you will find all of the courses related to the Flutter development. You will find the professional course as well as the basic course related to the Flutter. You can also find some of the free courses over here if you want to just go and try it out, or if you are just a beginner on the Flutter and then the React Native, you can also find the free course over here. And if you would like to be a full stack developer, we also have the course related to the full stack developer, related to the Node.js, Express, MongoDB, as well as the Flutter over here. And if you would like to join the Flutter bootcamp, there is also a bootcamp course over here. So make sure to go and check out the course over here. There are free and then the paid course. And if you want to be a job ready Flutter developer, this is the course that you want to take. So see you guys on the next lesson. Till then, have a great day. Now let us try to see how we can grab all of our documents from this particular tags collection to our API. Now that is what we need to send it from this particular postman over here. So for that, we are going to use this particular API, and in the tags model we need to call this one, right? So get all the tags is the route handler that we currently have, and currently we are just returning this particular tags that we have stored in our array. So for that, what we'll do is let's go back to the Mongoose documentation over here, and you can go to the queries from the guide, and we need to find over here. So currently we are looking to grab all of the tags, right? So here you can see that find all the documents over here. So we can use the mymodel.find and just pass in the empty object over here. And if you want to filter it out by something over here, you can pass in the filter option over here. But currently we are not interested in the filter option over here. What we like to do is we just want to grab all of our tags over here. So for that, let's go over here, and I'll just say a const of the TSK tags, right? And I just need to make that the tags that defined and pass into the object over here. Since this returns us the promise, what we need to do is make this one as the ASYNC string over here. And once we have that, we got this particular tags over here. And now let's just go and return this particular tags from here. Tags does the length, and I guess this and this is getting conflict over here. So we'll just say I'll just say all tags over here. So all tags over here, and that should be fine. So I'll just make use of this one over here, and this one will be of the tags, will be of the all tags over here. So let's go back to our postman over here, and we will try to send this particular request over there. So let's try to go and send the request, and now you can see that now we got all of our tags over here, and we got our ID, text, day, reminder, created date, and then the updated date. So that's cool. So now we have the all of the tags over here, and that is returning from us our API over here. And I guess we actually don't require this one, so you can see that's fee, and then this is of the 0, and I guess that's not required in the front end side, so we want to exclude that. I guess that will be a better option. And here in the Mongoose documentation, if you go to the query.the-prototype.the-select over here, what you can see is that you will see that we need to create a query, and we can use of the select over here, query.select, include A and B and exclude other fields. But what we want to do is we want to exclude that particular field, which is of this one, right? So if you go over here, exclude the C and D, include the other field. So what we need to do is we need to have a minus sign in front, and then that particular field name over here to exclude that particular field. So we'll be using this particular concept over here. So here I just go and say this one as let's say a query query over here, and then I'll just go and remove the await from here. Now this is a query for us, and here we'll just go and say the const of the result, which will be of equals to the await, and then the query over here. So we'll just go and set that the query dot the, I'll just make use of the select over here, right? select select over here, and I'll just pass in the dash, right? So, or the minus sign and underscore that v, or you can just copy the field name back from here. So we'll just copy that one and you can pass it over here. So now we got that particular result back from the query, and you can see this is the our document over here. So let's just go and pass in the result at the length, and here we want to pass in the result over here. So that should be good enough. Let's go back to our the API call over here from the Postman. So let's just go and send it, and now that's cool. So now you can see that our API response doesn't have that particular -v that we previously used to get over here. So that's all for this lesson, and your task will be to grab the get task and try to send it API request from the Postman. And if you can't, then that's not an issue. We will do it on the next lecture. So till then, have a great day. Now let us try to see how we can make use of the get task or a single task over here. So for that, what we'll do is let's go back to our Mongo over here, and let's try to find the let's go to our query over here, and we'll just go and say find by the ID. So model.the find by the ID over here. So let's go to that particular query over here, and if you take a look onto the example over here, so you can see that find the adventure with the given ID. So what we need to do is we just have to make use of the find by the ID over here. And if you take a look over here, find a single document by its ID field. So we already have the ID field. We'll be making use of those particular field and find by the ID and pass in that particular ID field over here. And it is also equivalent to find one, where you have to pass in the ID and the object of the ID type over here. So what we can do over here is either you can use in this format find one, or you can use this particular find by the ID. If you have the ID field in your schema, then you can always go and make use of this one. And if you don't have that particular ID field in the schema, then you can just go and find by that particular document property over here. So what we'll do over here is we'll just go back to our get tags over here, and once we get that particular ID over here, currently we are passing in the ID as an int, but we don't have to do that now. So we just have to grab the rest.the ID over here, right? So let's go to our let's just go and set the const of the tax ID over here. That will be from the request.the pram.the ID. So once we get that particular ID over here, what we need to do is we need to find that particular ID, right? So we need to find that particular tax over here. So I'll just go and say that the const of the tax, or we'll just make use, okay, let's just go and say this is of the tax over here, and then the tax that we have, this is our model dot the find by the ID, and we'll just pass in the tax ID. And now we have to make use of the async over here, since this returns as the promise over here. So here we'll go and make use of the await, and currently you have a multiple tags, so we don't have to grab this one. Let's just go and comment out this two from here. And now once we have these two, let's just go, and currently we have this particular tag, so let's just go and return this particular tags from here. So let's go back to our Postman over here, and now let's just go and grab this particular ID from here, and let's go to the tags from here. And now instead of passing that particular 10, I need to pass that particular ID over here. And let's just go and send this particular request, and that's cool. So now you get that particular the single document from our tags collection. And you can do the similar concept if you want to remove this particular -free from here. So let's go back over here, and now you can just go and set this one as the query query over here, and you don't have to set that the await. Once you set the await, that means you are going to execute it instantly over here. But if you want to execute it later and do some condition like filtering, sorting and all of those stuff, you can just grab the query first, and later I'll just go and say the tags over here, which will be of the query that select everything except dash underscore the v over here. So now that should be good enough. So let's go back and send it again, and we are good to go over here. So I think that's all for this lesson, and we will continue with our lesson in the next one. Till then, have a great day.